Cheaters. More cheating. If you went to Catholic school in New Orleans, you know all about cheating. I'm lucky enough tonight to get to introduce a very special lady. She always managed a rare, I would say a very rare and even rarer as the seasons float by, a rare blend of golly, gee whiz, all, with a common sense, common man skepticism. You'd love to be able to teach that blend to newcomers, but I'm not sure it can be taught. You got to be born with it, and it would help a lot if you're born somewhere around New Orleans. Let me give you a little background on Lynne Jensen. And because it's such a great story, it calls for a Lynne Jensen to write it. I don't have that, but a story can be summarized like this. Early bride, early mom, little college, had to find a job in her mid-30s. Took one as a church secretary. And that is a telephone receptionist in a newsroom. And it happened to be there when it was decided to add a community news section. It was a good luck stroke of a lifetime, and was double good because Lynne had one of those storybook views of newspapers, you know. Oh, it's fun and excitement. Cary Grant and Rosalind Russell, and in between, saving your community by championing each and every good cause. It took a good quarter century for her to lose most, not all, but most of that naivete. At a time of distraction, and the time of the internet is a time of great distraction, Lynne always had the skill of not being easily distracted. She knew what she was after and would persist in going after what she was after. Yet, at the very same time, she was wise enough to let her subjects find their comfort level in grace, in subject matter, in just being there. She knew when to let her subjects wander off on their own and how to bring them back. She was great at it. A good newspaper writer can fool their subject into thinking that, hey, we're just alike. The great newspaper writer is just like their subject. And that's why she's here tonight, because Lynne Jensen is a great newspaper writer. You folks don't always do the right thing with these Lifetime Achievement Awards. I can tell you from personal experience. But this time you were right on the bricks. Ladies and gentlemen, Lynne Jensen.
Decades ago when Ronnie said, "Stick with me, kid, we'll both be lifers." This isn't what I thought was going to happen. But I'm glad it is. I had the time of my life and the prime of my life at the times Picayune. It was this is a once-in-a-lifetime thrill. It really is. You know, I was born in the 7th Ward. I've lived all around the city. I just love this place. I can't even separate myself from this place. And I want to thank the Press Club and my family who are here and my friends. And they've supported me not just tonight, but for almost 30 years at the paper. I never dreamt that it would end this way for me, for Eva Jacob Barkov. In the very near future, we would have been at the Times-Picayune for 30 years as community news editors when the section first started. But, you know, it's not meant to be, and the daily paper is not meant to be, and business is business, and tonight's not a time to get into the business of business. It's a night to have fun, and that's exactly what I want to do. And I stand here for so many other people like me who just dreamt of something like this and never imagined that it would happen. You know, I just want to mention a few people. I know there are people that I might forget, and please forgive me, but one of the people I want to mention is Johannes Schindler, who people than these guys. You just couldn't. As was said, I started at the paper as a clerk, you know, just sort of a thing that I always dreamt of doing. Got there, you know, I answered the phones, and at that point, it was just a big sea of desks and big chunky phones. There were no cell phones. There weren't even pagers. And I remember, I know some people here remember Frank Donzi's voice booming across the newsroom when they made us have pagers. And that meant when you went out, your editor could page you, and you had to find a phone and call in. And it was like, darn, I don't want him to really know where I am. This isn't good. I was in heaven. It was just in heaven. Everything was loud. You know, you didn't message anybody. You had to actually talk to them like people. Like, you know, you'd answer the phone, pick up the phone, it's for no. You know, somebody was smoking over here, somebody was nipping over here. You didn't have a personal computer. And eventually we did have them. I know you remember this. They were big green machines, and you had to go to the bank of big green machines with your paper and type it in and wait for it to go and print it out. It was wonderful and crazy. And I do remember when I finally went from answering phones, writing obituaries, to the community news section, which was an incredible feat. And then at one point out to be an actual reporter on the news desk, which was just, I was beside myself. And here came the day of my first front page story. Well, of course, I tried to go to sleep. I couldn't go to sleep. I couldn't go to sleep. I couldn't go to sleep. And finally I heard, and it was the newspaper hitting the front lawn. I was like, out the door, pick that sucker up. It was just, oh, I held it like a baby. It was just, you know, I can't tell you how great that was. It was just wonderful. And one of the big things was I was part of a group that wrote a series of stories about Formosan termites. And it was really well done, I have to say, and I had so much fun doing it, and it was a finalist for a Pulitzer, darn it, because I wanted it to win so badly, because I wanted to stand up there and say, the American dream is alive and well at the Times-Picayune. I started here answering the phones, and I won a Pulitzer. This is a good second choice, trust me. I mean, I covered so many things, you know, cops on the weekends and all kinds of other things. But at one point, I got to go to Denver and cover Pope John Paul II. And I don't know if Susan Rochman is here, but she was covering it for a TV station. And we went out to cover this little group of kids, and they were painting something outside. It was hot. And, she had a pair of shorts on, and it was a live shot she was getting ready to do. So she threw on her blazer, and she came running up to me, and I was kind of like, what's happening? She goes, do you have any blush? I said, I don't need blush, I'm pretty. No, I'm sorry. And then another one of those stories that they would send you out on, and you'd roll your eyes and go, okay. So it was a flag burning protest at the Robert E. Lee statue at Lee Circle. So I get out there, and if any of y'all have been long enough, you know Reverend Graham. And his sidekicks and everything. So he's, we knew each other, and we chit-chatted a little bit, and the cars are going around the circle, and they finally pull out the flag, and they get the big lighter, and I'm standing there with my notebook, and standing there, because they keep lighting the flag, and nothing's happening. So I finally walked over there, and I said, what's going on? So they said, I don't know. Well, I said, do you mind if I just look at the flag? So I looked at the flag, and it said, flame retardant. At one point you're going, okay, then it's not a story. And then the next second you go, oh, it's even a better story. This is awesome. You cannot make this up. And of course there was Katrina, and I was OTT on the truck. And we hauled out of here and lived on air mattresses, and I won't go through all that, but I want to thank Liz Scott because my house flooded and I didn't have a place to go, and she called and said, you want to live in the French Quarter? I said, hell yes. I had always dreamt of living in the French Quarter, so it was like, okay, and I got to do that. It was an incredible time. I had so much fun there. And then after that, when we got back downtown, David Meeks was the city editor, and after thinking about it, I went to him and I said, may I talk to you? And he said, sure. I said, okay, we went in this little room, and I said, I'd like to go back to being the community news editor. He said, really? I said, yes, really. I said, because that's what's going to bring the city back. It's going to be community news. It's going to be people. We need to write about people, and we need to let the people know that we are them, that we're in this together. And I would like the opportunity to go back to being the community news editor. And of course, he said, great. And that's where I was until I wasn't there anymore. To me, the idea of the city of New Orleans, this unique place, not having a daily newspaper is just unimaginable. And I told some of our friends, I said, if the new houses did sell, if Carville and Mary Madeline did take it over, we'd have the schizophrenic newspaper New Orleans deserves. There's so much I want to say, and so many people I want to thank. But I just want to say thanks again, and congratulations to Norman Robinson. And long live the Times Picayune, even if it's just in our hearts. Thank you.